Good afternoon. I hope you guys can hear me. I am coming to you guys live. Oh, welcome to Fantasy Island, where everything is my way. So this afternoon, I was locked on this story from ABC where they were talking to Sharia Smith, and she is the president of the Department of Education in a specific sector, right? And they were talking to her about the layoffs that they have going on and how the DEI initiative that Trump has is affecting the Department of Education. So obviously, I have kids and they're in public education, and a lot of people have kids in public education. So a lot of people are concerned about what's going on with the Department of Education and how they're trying to basically gut it, like they were gutting the FAA, right? So I want to show you guys what I saw first. This is the video. Hold on.
Of Education's bargaining unit.
So Sharia, thank you for
joining us now is Sharia Smith, the AFGE union president representing the Department of Education's bargaining unit.
So Sharia, thank you for being with us. And
I just want to ask you, so what is going on at the Department of Education? You could ask that about the government, given the changes the president wants to exact. Is this an attempt to go after the, what he calls the DEI initiatives throughout the government, or is it an attempt to go after the department as a whole?
You know, what's happening is pure chaos. It's chaos that our union actually is designed to prevent. What is happening is a disruption of the services my colleagues and I provide to the American public. 74 members of our bargaining unit and even more managers and senior leaders were notified that they were on leave and could not work and could not serve the American public on Friday night. Not in enough time for them to even let their recipients, the students, the school districts, the families that they work for and serve, not enough time to even notify them that they would be on break.
So really quick, before they could even figure out how they were going to handle this, they just said, oh, you're on leave. It is administrative leave. I'm pretty sure it's paid leave. So it's not like they're not getting paid and they just suddenly just don't have a position. But it is problematic that they are representing the people. It's like, imagine a congressperson that is responsible for your district, right? And they all of a sudden get a note on Friday, hey, don't come back to work. What are you guys supposed to do? Who are you supposed to go to? Who are you supposed to write to? They say, write to your congressman, write your congressman. If they're suddenly put on administrative leave without any notice, what are you supposed to do? I just think, I understand that he has an initiative and it is the government's responsibility to act, but I believe there is a right and a wrong way to do things.
My coworkers and I want to work for the public. We want to serve the public. We took these jobs to serve the public, and it is extremely confusing and chaotic to receive a letter saying that you can no longer serve, not because of your performance, not because you weren't, performing a good service or the people that you were serving did not want you, but some ambiguous DEIA, especially from, people who work in AI or work as press specialists, senior attorneys who do not work in DEIA, loan specialists, program management analyst. It is complete chaos, and it has left many of us who remain with the Department of Education concerned about our own stability.
We're concerned about the stability of the Department of Education also. A lot of times when I ask people what do they think about the fact that Project 2025, one of their initiatives is to get rid of the Department of Education, one of the responses I get is the Department of Education doesn't do anything. Our kids can't read right now anyway. And I'm like, wow, we really do not understand the value of these different systems that we have in place to protect us, to help us, to provide some sort of coverage for us. We don't care about that at all. If we don't see a direct impact, we feel nothing is happening. But I bet you we'll see a direct impact once all these layoffs start happening. Once people just start going missing, then we'll say, what's going on? What happened to this? What happened to that? And all of that fell under the same umbrella that we're trying to get rid of. Very, very interesting.
So employees told ABC that diversity change agent training actually started in 2019 during Trump's first term. So why all this commotion now?
Again, this is where I say this is complete chaos. One of the things that our union strived on working with our agency on is talking about the changes the agency wanted to implement, the reasons why, so we can explain that. That did not happen. Even after the decisions were made and employees were notified that they were on administrative leave, the agency was unable to give them a reason why that happened, yet alone give us, which is something that was required under our collective bargaining agreement. But you're right to say that I actually started my career at the U.S. Department of Education in the first Trump administration. And in that administration, I absolutely remember several emails to all employees strongly encouraging us to take these trainings. And it absolutely seems like a bait and switch for an administration to strongly encourage, if not require, employees to take a training and then later on use that, it seems, as a reason to put them on paid administrative leave.
I like that she's using her words wisely, because she can't say flat out, they made us go to this training. But when they push you, like I know in the military, there's so many trainings that we have to take. When they decided had going back in, I don't remember which year, but while I was still in the military, right? Imagine them coming back now to say, oh, all those soldiers that went to those trainings, pull up the records, put them out of the military. Nobody wanted to go to these trainings. Like, let's just be real. Nobody wants to go to additional trainings. They don't pay you extra to go to training. So when you push for your people to take specific training for diversity, for equality, for inclusion, all of those things, when you push for that, you can't then come back and say, oh, well, you did it. Good. Gotcha. It seems like a gotcha moment. Look, Sam, I have no idea. I think they're putting them on this paid leave. This is just my personal opinion, has nothing to do with this, right? I think that they are putting, like, this isn't a for sure thing, is what I'm saying. I think they're going to put them on paid leave, not so they can save money initially, but so they can avoid the inevitable lawsuits that would come for them getting wrongfully terminated. So they have to make sure that they have a solid reason for why they're putting these people out of those positions. And if they don't, they're going to be sitting on a lot of lawsuits, I believe. You can't just fire somebody just because. You have to have just cause, right? So especially if you're going to assume that this is this is part of the DEI initiative, then you're going to have to come back and say what they did. So yeah, I do not believe that they're thinking, oh, right now we're saving money. But I think they're just trying to get their legal partners to figure out how they can legally do this, how they can legally get rid of these people. Let me finish this video, and then I'm going to show y'all where I first saw Sharia Smith.
Sharia Smith, appreciate just the personal insight to what's happening. And I know we'll stay in close touch as, who knows what could happen next. And things might change depending on the amount of pressure, but it's definitely a new era. And we love having your perspective. Thank you.
Truly.
Yeah, we love having her perspective. He's definitely wilding. So back in 2024 at the DNC conference, that's where I first saw Sharia Smith. So let me show you guys that video.
Sharia with us. Sharia, are you there?
Hey, Keenan, I'm here.
Yes, Sharia, I love it. All right, let's talk to you. I understand that you work for the federal government?
Yes, sir. I'm in the United States Department of Education. I'm a proud civil servant and a proud union president.
She works for the Department of Education and she's a proud civil servant. Well, unfortunately for you, on page 78, Project 2025 calls for President Trump to purge the civil service of everyone who isn't a MAGA loyalist. Are you a MAGA loyalist?
Now, Keenan.
As soon as she said, now Keenan, I knew she was about to be like, Ninja. That's what she was probably thinking. No, absolutely not.
Absolutely not.
I'm just asking. I mean, you might as well be, because also page 319 calls for the complete elimination of the Department of Education.
That lady with her eyes rolled all the way to the back of her head is definitely me. We have the same energy. Like, oh my God, not another thing. It seems like everything is an initiative for us to get dumber, for them to not have to tell us more, for our children to be dumber, so that they can pull the wool over their eyes easier. It'll be way easier for them to get by with people not capable of reading higher than a third grade level, because we're just getting less and less literate, right? So if we're not able to read, we can't come and say, hey, I read that you're going to do X, Y, and Z. This is affecting me in this way. Let me write my congressman. We can't do that if we can't read. We can't do that if we can't comprehend. So I think they're purposely doing these things so that they can cause us to not be able to react like we're supposed to be able to react and go to our congressman for help when we're supposed to be like we need to in the future. So they can handle whatever they want to handle. It took them, they have been denying Project 2025 since that came out. Since we found out about Project 2025, it's been deny, lie, right? They ain't going to have to do that anymore. We're not going to know what's going on. So I think this is a clear initiative for them to try to stop us from being smarter. And they're going to say, oh, we're putting it in the state's hands. The states can handle this, but the states need the support from the government. They have been saying that forever, other than the ones in the South. You know, they always think they need to go back to where they came from. But let me show you guys this video from 2019. And I bet you they are targeting this woman and her organization because she's always speaking out. She's always being a public servant. And they don't like people like her.
My name is Sharia Smith. I am in the American Federation of Government Employees, Local 252, representing the United States Department of Education. And I'm here in Austin to talk about the attacks on federal workers and the repudiation of our contract, which we are seeing this administration do throughout the federal system. And I'm doing that to warn our brothers and sisters in labor about what might be coming so that we can prepare ourselves against these attacks and to defend against the attacks on collective bargaining rights and the rights of people to unionize and organize through it.
Now, she came out and gave this warning in 2019. That was 6 years ago. She tried to warn them that, hey, they trying to step on our rights. We need to do something. That is the same woman. 6 years earlier, right? She's smiling, she's bright, she's ready. Now she's tired. And I feel you, because it is frustrating when you keep trying to explain to people the ramifications of these actions. And everyone's like, so I don't care. That don't have nothing to do with me. All the way up until the point where it does have something to do with them. Then all of a sudden they're like, well, why ain't anyone say anything? She has been trying to warn us. She came into this department in 2019. That's why I was like, oh, really? 2019? Let me look at that. Looked her up. Boom. There she is talking about the unions that she's trying to protect. So it's like, dang. She has been trying to speak out and nobody has been listening. I haven't been listening to her. I didn't start paying attention to her until 2024, right? So fast forward to now that we see what's going on, I'm like, dang, this woman has been speaking out like we want them to. If you see something, you say something, right? She's been speaking out. Oh, hey, boo. She's been speaking out. And unfortunately, we couldn't do what it took for us to prevent what she is talking about. We just couldn't do it. We decided, as the majority, we decided that we wanted to see what would happen if his initiatives actually went through. So now here we are. He is working very hard to get his initiatives pushed through. And if we don't act and we don't stand up as a people, we are going to see things changing drastically. We already see how the immigrants are saying they are caught off guard by the way they're getting treated. And not even just them, the people that were from Venezuela. So there's illegal immigrants, right? And there's also people who have a visa who were here legally because that's what a visa provides them. And they're like, oh, give me that. How you just decide that now all of a sudden I'm illegal? That doesn't make any sense. You can't do that to people, but that is exactly what they're doing. And it's always a problem when it's you. It's never a problem when it's your neighbor, your girl down the street, the girl that you ain't really like anyway. Then it's like, well, fuck that bitch. But when it is you, what are you going to do? When it is us, when it's our kids. And I'm not going to lie, I have been on the side of fuck around and find out. Let's just be real. You chose this man. Now you crying. Fuck around and find out. But now I'm like, okay, I can't just be sitting back looking pretty like, told you. The 92% got it. Y'all just didn't. So now you're left behind. It's like, okay, I need to do something. I need to speak up. I need to be talking to my congresswoman, my congressman, because these problems are going to trickle down to all of us. It's not going to bother the rich up top. They don't care. They do what they want. Whatever the problem they see, all they see it as is a fine. Just pay it so I can get what I want, right? We don't have that luxury because we aren't wealthy. America is run by the wealthy 1%. So if we are not in the wealthy 1%, we're the others. All of us are the others. So if we don't start acting together and we don't start using our voices to uplift each other and speak out against how ridiculous this all is, we will see the worst of times in 2025 and beyond. It's 4 years of this. It's been 2 weeks, y'all. 2 weeks. I am really worried. I'm really worried about where we're going as a country. I'm really worried about what's going on because, I'm not going to lie. I used to feel very comfortable with where things were going because I was in the military. So I was in intelligence. So I knew a lot about things on the back end, right? But now that I'm out, I don't know anything other than what comes out in the news. And I'm like, oh, I know there's more to this story. I know there's more to this, but I don't know what's happening. I'm not in the know anymore. So it's really frustrating. It's really nerve-wracking to just wait and see. Like now I'm feeling like the anxious civilians that I always be like, oh, the civilians always worried. We all right. Now here I am, a civilian worried. I'm a vet, but still I'm worried. I don't know what's going to happen. I missed the times where things were predictable and I was bored. I missed the times where every moment it wasn't breaking news, breaking news, breaking news. I miss it. I miss the complacency. Now we have to get to a point where we're not complacent, we acting. So are y'all ready to act? I'll leave y'all with that. You guys have a wonderful morning. Hey, Joshua. I'm back. All is well. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I will talk to you later. Hit the like button on the way out. I really love y'all. Bye.